Thursday nights. That's I want. I'm doing shit Thursday nights every Thursday. I'm gonna try to do new content on here, bringing you the best underground hip hop shit, the shit that nobody talks about and mentions. That's what I'm about on here tonight. Of course, with the special guest, the hardest working man on YouTube, Reg Reviews. Shout out to
Which
Ashley. Um, Definitely wanted to talk about this album because again, it goes unmentioned in hip hop conversations. You know, I definitely love this album. I think it's one of this group's best, finest work, probably their last finest work. Talking about the 1995 DasEfx release. You can see that there. Hold It Down, East West Records America. Um, this album, I want to say like it was on Stretch and Barbito show, like early '95. Might have been like the winter or spring '95 that I started hearing joints on this album. Like they started playing joints like Dedicated and No Diggity, Knocking Niggas Off, and after the second album, after the first album, everybody knows the first album, Dead Serious. They Want Effects, Mike Checker, big, huge album in '92. That was one of my favorites. I bumped that album that whole summer '92 with Chris Cross first album, and EPMD when they came out with Business Never Personal. Those are like some of my favorite albums of '92. And the second album, was it Straight Out the Sewer?
straight out suicide, some shit like that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Straight Out Suicide, right. I remember I was in high school and this cat was like passing out the stickers. I was getting like the stickers for the album and they were promoting it and I got that album for Christmas on cassette by one of my cousins and I was kind of disappointed with that album. I mean it had some joints on there, but I didn't there was something missing. I don't know if it was like the big hits compared to like the first album, but it was something missing with that album. And then I started hearing joints on the mixtape shows on college radio in '95, and I realized that they were coming out with something new, and I didn't realize it really until I started video for Real Hip Hop, and I was like blown away, and I loved it. The beat was done by Primo. Love Primo's like top two producers of all time to me, him and Pete Rock, and I just was like, yo, I gotta get this album. Got the album from Columbia House back in the day, and was not disappointed. Scoob and Crazy Drazy, I think they're one of the best lyrically. Great underrated group. I think they have like their first three albums are like their best in their discography. And I've never talked about this album until now, so I'm very happy to finally discuss this album. And what was your introduction to like Das Effects and this album, Rich?
Okay, well, my introduction to DasEfx has to be when cause everyone heard that song, They Want Effects,
Right.
which of course I was for the Dead Serious album.
Hmm.
But to be real, I'm not really like the biggest fan of them. I only like pretty much like the first three albums like that because the first one grew on me recently.
Right.
I was more into like that dark, grimy stuff where they wasn't doing that whole Iggy shit. So I like the straight up Suicide
Right.
album and the Hold It Down, which we're going to talk about today and shit. And I just
Hmm.
like how they had like a unique style, but at the same
Right.
time too, once everybody started using that style, I guess they kind of
Right.
got played out at the end and shit like that too. You know what I'm saying?
Right. True. And I remember having a conversation in when I was a freshman in high school, right when this was like about like late '92, early '93, and I was in science class, and this guy that was sitting next to me, his name was Clyde, and we he was heavy, he was like an aspiring rapper. He was writing his rhymes in his notebook or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
and we had a count. He was all about the underground boom bap, like Lords of the Underground, Das Effects, Showbiz and AG. That was his thing. So in his Walkman, that's what you would find in his Walkman. And
I
we
feel
had a conversation about like the little beef that was going on at the time with Lords of the Underground and DasEfx and who invented that style. I always felt like it was DasEfx's style. I mean, because I don't hear that type of rhyme style from Lords of the Underground, and I never understood why they were beefing with Das over that.
Wait, Lords of the Underground and DasEfx were beefing?
Yeah, yeah, that was like it wasn't a big beef. I think Lords of the Underground called them out on Chief Rocker or something like that. But they had like they had like a little beef going on about the rhyme style and who invented it. And I always felt like it was Das. I never like I never listened to Lords and heard that from them. I mean, they might have like been influenced by it, but I didn't. I always felt like Das was the one that brought that style out. You know what I'm saying? And they used it a lot on their first two albums. They used it some on this album, but they kind of like strayed away from it to show people like yeah, like they're both lyrical and that they don't need that diggity style to get their point across. But I always felt like that was their style, and Clyde, he felt different. He felt like Lords were better. They were the better group, and I was like, nah, man, I gotta go with Das, yo. I think Das, when they came out with that style, it was like they had their own lane, they had their own style of dress with the army fatigues and the Timberlands. They still rocking the army fatigue and the Timberlands. I just saw them in concert back in June at the Masters of Ceremony tour. Great
Right.
tour. They opened up. They killed it. They did they won effects and Mike Checker. They did real hip hop. They brought out PMD and he did his verse from You Got to Chill. I think they did a Rough Rugged and Raw. Like it was they killed it. Even in 2019 they still killing shit on stage, and I always felt like that was their style. I never felt like Lords of the Underground invented that style, but that's just me.
Because Lords of the Underground, they had like a much more raw, raw sound, like a
Right,
street in your face kind of sound. Whereas
right,
that's effects, like I mentioned, had that more iggity kind of sound too. So
right.
because I think Lords of the Underground also had a situation with DITC too at the same time too.
Oh, I didn't even know that. They had beef with them.
Yeah, because I think it has something to do with a loop that I think was both Showbiz and AG and Lords of the Underground used.
Right,
And back in the day, a lot of people cats were kind of saying, "Oh, you took the sample for this beat and
right.
shit like that, so I'm gonna diss you." Like how Gangsta and YZ got into that situation where
True, true.
Guru addressed it at Take It Personal.
Right.
So it was like a little situation like that.
That's crazy. I did not even know that.
Oh yeah,
That's that's wild, Joe. You know what I'm saying? Like, but I mean, yeah, but I was like a big thing in like the '93. It was like Das versus Low Tug. Like who's better? I always felt like Das was. I love Lords of the Underground. They had their hits and they albums. I always felt like Das was the better. You know, rap group lyrically.
I agree.
So that's just how I felt about that. But shout out to Lords of the Underground, classic rap group, and DasEfx. Shout out to them. You know.
Right.
But yeah, let's get into this album. It's 20 tracks, a long player album. The intro produced by Peter Lewis. It was you start off with like some doors like opening. They're making noise, and then you hear like Crazy Dre's in the background. He's like, "Yo, close that door." And then they start. It goes into like some music, and then it goes into track two with with produced by Primo. This is one of the songs I first heard off of Stretch and Bobbito. This is like one of the first songs they played. I love that Primo track. It's real grimy. The bass line, you know, um, the lyrics that Crazy Dre says. He says, "Big up to PMD forever getting flooded in the triple black Benz 500 fire." I love the chorus as well. He said, "Can I kick a rhyme for your mind? No diggity. That's effects. We rip it every time." Love that shit. That's the banger, man. And this is also the B side, I believe, to Real Hip Hop. It's on the vinyl joint, the single. So if y'all got that single, the Real Hip Hop, the B side is No Diggity, but there's no video for it though. But they played it on the radio. That's definitely a solid joint.
Yeah. well spoken words, man. No diggity, man. Very dope way to start off the album.
Yeah,
Primo at 95 alone should just tell you what to expect when it came to this beat. I always just felt like Primo always brought the best out a lot of certain rappers and shit.
right.
Not saying that DasEfx was whack overall, but you know what? I just wasn't expecting Primo and DasEfx would be working together until I heard this album and shit
True.
too. Yeah, very dope shit. I love how rugged when Scoob and Dre definitely did that thing. Um,
Right.
and that's the thing about this album. There's like a lot of braggadocio tracks on this album too. So
Oh yeah,
that's one thing
definitely.
that's gotta keep in mind with. So I
Definitely.
would say No Diggity is definitely a highlight of the fucking album. This
Yeah.
long, this long album, I should say.
And it just like the whole sound of the album, like the different producers, like having a Primo do some stuff and Moby did a lot of the tracks and Showbiz and Solid Scheme is it has like it with using those different beat makers, it maintains a real rugged, dirty sound, you know, and definitely I'm impressed with this album for sure. Um, Track three, we got Knocking Niggas Off, produced by Moby. Banging Moby track, bass line, the DJ scratches, the hi hats are real crisp. I love Scoob's lines where he says the boogie banger bringing danger to the rap game. I kick rhyme and rip the spine out your back frame. Yeah, I'm at the peak of my career. Rap niggas ain't got a motherfucking prayer. I swear, the day must be my lucky, cause niggas wanna be me and bitches wanna fuck me. Fire,
Whew.
fire shit, yo. He definitely killed it. You know, Crazy did his thing as well, and another solid track, real dirty, banging track. Love it.
Yeah, this is again another like fire track when it comes to this album and shit like that too.
Yeah.
Um, I definitely love the beat. This was made by Easy Mo B and shit, if
Yeah.
I'm not mistaken. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, definitely Mo B at his prime. I love the lines. Yo, the boogie banger bringing danger to the rap game. I kick a rhyme and rip the spine out your back frame. Yeah, I'm the peak of my career, and whack niggas ain't got a motherfucking prayer. I
Mm,
swear this day must be a lucky. Why? Cause niggas wants to be me and bitches want to fuck me. Like,
fire.
not like the most lyrical, but just the way he placed those rhymes together in that rhyme scheme. I fucking like and shit. You know?
Oh yeah. Definitely. Definitely. That's vintage DOS on there, man.
Right.
Definitely love that joint. You know, track four we got Here We Go. This is produced by Solid Scheme. You know, Solid Scheme Productions produced the first album and the second album as well. And they on here again, giving them some another dope beat and the bass line. Real grimy track. I like the horns in it as well and the scratches. Crazy Drazy, his lyrics where he says, "You think you're clever, son, but you never, son. Gonna get it, gonna get a chance to calm me like Edison. I think you better run, cause I'm coming at you. And what the fuck you gonna do when I catch you? Fire, killed it. You know, Scoop did his thing. Definitely a dope joint on it. I like this joint.
Yeah, man. Again, another nice track right here. Love the fucking beat. Definitely has a nice nighttime cruising kind of deal to it, but with like a grimy affair with it too.
Yeah,
Um, the thing about this track that I do love is just the way how like this is pretty much like the closest like you'll see them like going very lyrical and shit like that too. You know what I'm
right,
saying?
right, yeah,
Just because that's the one thing about boom bap that I fucking love because it gives the lyricist room to breathe when it comes to the rhymes and shit. You know what I'm saying?
true,
For real, like you can say that like about with like G Funk and all that shit too, but with
right.
boom bap, once you hear those drums and the bass lines and just the way you're
Mhm.
flowing with it, like this is just one of those songs that I just hold it to my heart when it comes to this fucking album.
See, like with G, I agree with that. With G Funk, it's like you're more if it's like DJ Quick or Dre producing, it's like you're more inclined to focus on the instrumentation and the music more than the lyrics.
Right.
Saying it's like if they got like that playing with the moog or they got like the like a real dope melody, at least for me, like I pay attention more to the instrumentation, and then with boom bap, it's like you just need like a dope drums on it. You don't even need like a melody or bass line, just some dope drums, and they could if they're like a artist that they can kick like a dope freestyle. That's what gets you the lyrics first. You know what I'm saying? And
Right.
that's why I was saying like last week when we was talking about OGC was like that was what we focused on over here on the East Coast. It was like the beats and rhymes first. You know what I'm saying? And then like when it came to like the G funk and or like the down south crunk music or whatever, that was after we paid more attention to like the music over the
Right.
lyrics. But boom bap is like the beats and the rhymes is what gets you. So it's like if you got dope lyrics, that's what we paid attention to. And be a dope beat to go along with the lyrics is like, yo, you already got us hooked. So I definitely agree with you on that.
Yeah,
Um,
most definitely.
yeah,
Most definitely and shit like that. That's why when it comes to like all these rappers, they always want to find like the most boom bap beat just to freestyle off of. You know what I'm saying?
right. Track five, we get to the first single, Real Hip Hop. Loved this joint immediately when I heard it, when I saw the video for it, and they like doing pop wheelies with the bikes on the bikes and shit, and they rocking the shorts with the Tims and the army fatigue. That just what got me, man. And a great track, probably one of the best Primo tracks ever. I love it. The bass line, the little guitar sample, great past the mic. Yeah, they shown great lyrical skills between Crazy Drazy and Scoob on this. I love Crazy's lyrics when he says, "When on your mark, get set, can't forget the dope. In case you didn't know, the flow is fat like Joe. Fire. Love the chorus, man. You gotta for DasEfx fans gotta know what this song is all about, man. Real hip hop. The whole title explains it. So classic song.
I might cause some flack with what I'm about to say.
Uh,
I might cause a lot of flack, but this is actually one of my least favorite Primo beats.
oh wow,
Yeah.
that's crazy.
I mean, don't get me wrong. It's a good beat. I like the song. I'm gonna say what I have to say about the remix when we get to it.
Right,
But I just felt like for a Primo beat, it's good, but I don't know. I just expected a little bit more and shit, you know?
right,
Like, like they all did a thing, but I just like, damn. I felt like that beat could have been a little bit better, maybe. But it's
right.
probably just me, maybe.
But
But
this
I
is
just,
95. Yo, this is 95 Primo. Like, you know how many hits he was dropping? Like, MCs
I
act like they don't
know.
know. You know what I'm saying? He was dropping shit on, yo. Like,
I mean,
when that beat come on, it's like, yo, like, it don't even need like a remastered version because, like, we throw on the original joint, like, it still sound crisp and loud to this day. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
And I just love that. It's like a real upbeat track. Like, you could throw that on at a cookout and niggas just be bobbing their heads to that shit.
And yeah, don't get me wrong. Like, I'm not saying like it's a bad track overall, but like, and don't get me wrong, I love Primo in that time, but even Primo at his prime, in
Right,
my personal opinion, he had a few shit that I was kind of like, yeah, maybe this beat was not maybe for that artist, or maybe I just
right,
personally didn't like the beat overall.
right.
But yeah, I felt like lyrically it was good. I just felt like the beat could have been a little bit better, in my personal
So
opinion.
so so you think the beat you think you would have given this beat to somebody else?
Probably, I felt like it could be better for somebody
Or
else.
you prefer the Pete Rock remix over this one?
Oh yeah, I definitely, it's no doubt. I definitely prefer the Pete Rock remix.
Okay, I feel you.
Yeah,
I like Scoob's. I forgot to add Scoob. I love his verse where he says, "Hey, yo, MCs is irrelevant and delicate to the texture, but this style of mine is what we find like Webster." Talking about Webster dictionary, fire.
ooh,
I love this song. I think it's a Das Effects classic. They any show they do, they gotta do this song because everybody knows this song. If you're not a Das Effects fan, you might still know this song and be like, "Oh, I know that song. That's Das Effects. Love it."
yeah, yeah, man. And that's one thing about DOS Effects that I've always enjoyed about their music was their cartoony ways of using like double entendres and shit. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah,
like
for
they
sure.
might say some hardcore shit that they might say some shit like some baby boop. I'm just like they'll
Mm,
catch you off guard with their references and shit. You know,
right.
that's one thing I've always enjoyed about them. It's like nigga, what?
Yeah, you gotta rewind that shit. Like, oh, what'd he say? Okay,
Like that.
that's dope.
Then what?
Yeah. That's what we used to do. Like back, especially when we had cassettes back in the day, and somebody say something dope. Oh, I gotta rewind that. What do you say? Okay, I like that. I gotta. That's dope. That's a clever way of putting that. I didn't think about that until he said it. You know.
Right, man. But I
Um.
love DasEfx. Man. I love DasEfx on their good days. Let me just say on their
Right.
good days.
Well, shit. To me, they had a couple of good days making this album. You know.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Um. Track six, we get to Here It Is. Dope track by Kevin Geeta. I like the hi hats on it. It sounds real crisp and
Ooh,
clear. The
jeez.
snares on it. It's a dope beat with kind of like a melodic tone to it. Um, crazy Dre's verse. He says, "I know the game because I study. Me and my buddy. Ain't nothing funny niggas know the sewer style is nutty. Fire shit. Love that. Love his verse. You know, Scoop did his thing as well. Not too much here to talk about, but I think it's still a dope cut. You know, one of those like dope album cuts. Definitely banging.
Yeah, man. This fucking beat alone is a banger, yo. On some real shit.
Yeah.
To say who had the best verse, I want to say I like Dre's verse, the first verse and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? I feel like it was definitely a nice performance he displayed and shit like that.
Mhm.
So I like the line where he said, "Whipping niggas asses, so get your glasses. Time for classes. I take my chances. I got to go for broke. So knock you, don't provoke. Just chill and roll
Mhm.
a smoke. Like just the
Fire.
fucking flow alone and shit. Like
They,
there were
they they got mad different flows and the way they flip their metaphors and shit is just one of the best.
I agree highly.
You know. That's it on track six.
Yeah, that's all I gotta say.
Track seven now, Microphone Master. Now, when I there's so many different remixes for this track. I remember going to the record store and buying the CD maxi single because it was like I believe it was like eight different mixes, and they had a dope remix by DJ Spinner from Styles of Beyond, another underground slept on group. Um, they have a remix. They have a remix by they have the regular version by Moby and the 41st side mix with Mob Deep. Mob Deep was they did the video for that remix. Everybody knows that one. That was done by Solid Scheme, I believe. And I had this CD Maxi single. I can't find it nowhere though. I don't know if I misplaced it or what. I can't find it, but um I remember this joint and I was like, yo, like I love these remixes and I rushed out and bought the single. And I still prefer the Moby version, or even though the Mob Deep one was fire, because it was dope to see like Mob Deep collaborate with DasEfx. Because Mob is from Queensbridge and Das is from my hometown of Brooklyn, and Mob wasn't really collaborating with anybody else other than Queensbridge artists, so that was dope to see. But I still prefer the Moby version. I fell in love with that beat, like the bass line and the beat for that with it sound like a xylophone being played, along with the bass line and the same same chord and the DJ scratches. Love that. And the chorus where they like, MIDI microphone master style Ron Maker. Love that shit. And Crazy's verse where he says, "Yo, well, the shit sound clever. I'm down for whatever, like nothing nice. Big up to DJ Dice, wrecking shop when he cut and slice. These corny MCs, please, I never heard of them. I never heard of some. We need to murder some like Colin Ferguson. Colin Ferguson, that reference, he was a guy that shot up the Long Island Railroad back in like I think it was 93, 92, 93. I remember that because I was that was on a school day, and I remember that being like breaking news all over the news, like he shot up the Long Island Railroad and shit and killed like mad people. That was like a Long Island Railroad massacre and shit. They called it back then. So that was like a reference to him. But that definitely a great track. I loved the remix as well with Mob Deep. Then they killed it. You know what I'm saying? If you all ain't see that video, find that shit on YouTube. It's fire. And I think this is like another one of their best songs. I don't remember them performing this track at the show, but this is definitely a dope song, man. And Moby is a legendary producer, and I think it's a great track.
Okay. Yeah, man. I was more used to hearing the Mob Deep version over the years,
Right.
and shit. 'Cause I always felt like Mob Deep and DasEfx was an interesting collaboration and stuff.
Yeah.
But '95 Mob Deep kind of broke through, so it kind of made sense why they were on the remix as well. But yeah, man, very dope song, very lyrical and shit like that.
Right.
Um, yeah, like I said, I prefer the Mob Deep version, but I felt like the album version was solid on its own right too. So
Yeah.
yeah, I'll give it a solid rating too.
And that was the thing back then, like in the '90s, like when remixes was everything. Either when Puffy did remixes and Jermaine Dupri did remixes, it was like they had more than one version. And when it came to like groups like Cypress Hill, I remember buying the Illusions CD single, and it had like different remixes from Q-Tip and Muggs, and that was dope. And buying this single and hearing like DJ Spinners flip on it, and that was like real like melodic was still banging at the same time. I love remixes like that where it's like you buy the remix and you buy the single and then you have like different remixes from like your favorite beat makers. I always thought that was like dope. They stopped doing that now, but back then it was like that was like a must thing to do. Like to gotta buy this the remix for that because you know what I'm saying. Like you might have heard it on like Future Flavors or Stretch of My Beat, and then you want to rush out and get the single. So this is definitely one of those joints where like the remixes are just as good as the original. You know, track 8, a 40 in the blunt, again produced by Moby, banging beat, bass line, kind of like a melodic track. I like the scratches on there. They talking about 40 in the blunt. That getting down to the facts. That's what we were doing. Philly blunt or a White Owl, and you had to go to the corner store and you get your little 40, your Oli or whatever, or your St. Odds, and
Right.
that's for they like premier. They're like the premier blunt smokers. They before Red and Meth, it was DasEfx. Let's get that straight. Like they were already talking about blunts and shit. And you had Crazy in his rhymes. He's like the weed smoker, MC provoker, no joker. My style be dope because it's fat like Oprah. I liked his flow. It kind of reminded me of like a little reminiscent of Smooth the Hustler.
Right.
The language. I love the way like he flipped his words and all that. That was dope. The chorus, the 40 in the blunt sample. That's from the Slow Down Brand Nubian song. Everybody knows that. 40 in the blunt. That's all she really
Facts.
wants.
Facts.
That joint. So uh, a great song. I love it.
Yeah. Nice comparison to Smooth the Hustler. 'Cause I never really thought of it that way and shit like that. But
Right.
yeah, man, another dope Moby banger and shit like that. This
Mhm.
one kind of like takes a different tone because they're just like talking about having a good time, getting fucked up basically.
Right.
Um, yeah, very dope song, very interesting song like you would hear from Das Effects. 'Cause I would never expect Das Effects to make like a song like this and shit. I'm just used to hearing like the braggadocio kind of show deal. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
yeah,
I was waiting for them to do a song like this because like I mean they done rapped about Tims and bitches and cars and all that. I was like they smoke like every day, so I was waiting for them to do. I thought they would have had like more weed songs. Like Bone Thugs had weed songs because they actually were smoking. You know what I'm saying?
right.
Like Nas was smoking and they didn't do too many weed songs like that. So I was waiting for them to do a weed song at some point. You know. Um, where we at? Track 9.
Yeah,
Track 9, Buck Buck, produced by DasEfx. Um, it has like it has like a dope '80s breakbeat. It's like a freestyle track. It has DJ scratches. You got like the hissing noise on the track, like how you would of like back in the day when you had like your cassettes. You played the cassettes in the tape deck and it was hissing, and that
hmm
type of like mixtape tape deck effect to it. Loved it. I like the lyrics by School where he says, "Beating me is like the Bills beating Dallas. I used to be a wheel watcher until I got my whip." Then Crazy says, One is from my nuts, two is from my penis. See, I can rock this microphone from here to fucking Venus. Fire shit. I like the chorus. Fuck, fuck, kid, fuck. Love that shit. And it's just a dope little freestyle track. That's what it reminded me of like 8 Mile. Like for some reason, like when I was listening to the song, I always kept thinking about 8 Mile or whatever. But
Right.
it's dope. It's dope. A nice little freestyle track by Dallas.
Yeah, man. I definitely like the old school hip hop feel that they have with this fucking track.
Yeah,
And it's kind of crazy too because I was reviewing the boot camp click the For the People earlier,
right,
and like one of the first tracks, I forgot the name of the moment, but it tried to use the Cold Crush Brothers sample, and around that time too, like a lot of East Coast rappers were trying to rap over like old school hip hop beats, like the Message or Rappers Delight, and me personally, I don't really like that trend like that because sometimes it might come off cheesy and shit.
right, right,
But I felt like with this one, it definitely had a very authentic feel to it. Like you can tell like they were paying homage to that feel.
right,
Back when they had like a 95, 96 twister, with like the buck chorus and shit like that. You know what I'm saying?
right.
So that's definitely one of my favorite songs off this album.
Yeah, I agree because like there was rappers during the '90s that they tried to like rhyme over legendary hip hop tracks that I didn't like. Fall MC did it with like Everything's Gonna Be Alright, where he rhymed over the Rappers Delight beat. That was dope. But then when you get to the Def Squad version, I didn't like that one. Even though I like El Nino, but I didn't like the way that they did the rendition for rap. I didn't think like they did a good job compared to the actual Rappers Delight by Sugar Hill Gang. So that was like a issue sometimes where like if you have like Grandmaster Flash, the Message, and then you got Puffy and Mace rhyming over that same Message beat, it's not the same. You know what I mean?
Right.
But that was their way even back then of paying homage to the forefathers. So I give them an E for effort. But it just because they got an E for effort don't mean it was great. So yeah, man. But I definitely feel what you're saying on that.
Yeah,
Um,
man. Even though like I wasn't really like born around that era, it's just I just studied certain shit. I just studied that shit carefully. You know what I'm
right,
saying? So
right, true.
niggas might disagree, but I don't give a fuck.
I feel you on that, man. We speak our mind here, so it is what
Right.
it is. Track 10, we get to the intro. That this is what I didn't get. I mean, it's 20 tracks, and I've never seen an album where unless it was a double LP. This is a single album, and there's another intro. Why do we need another intro for a 20 track single player album?
Right.
I didn't understand that. I'm like, we already got the intro. Why do we have another intro for a single album? I don't get that. I don't understand that, but it's whatever. We get the track 11. Can't have nothing. Produced by
Yes.
what's his name?
Soju.
Jevil Soul G Stevens. Dope beat, like the bass line. Um, there's like hollering on the track is real soulful. I didn't quote nothing, but it's a dope track. It's not really like one of my favorites. Not like a standout track to me, but I like the beat. You know, yeah. I'm still thinking about the intro. I'm like, that's stupid. I don't feel like they should have had two intros on the album, but they could have easily went into Can't Have Nothing after Buck Buck. But yeah, that was a dope track though.
Yeah, man. Can't have nothing. Believe it or not, this is actually one of my favorite tracks off this album.
Right,
Like I just felt like they were talking about like the ill wills, of their lifestyle and shit like that.
right.
I just felt like they're definitely stepping their pen game up with that song. There's an ill line I'm gonna pull up actually
Yeah.
where let me see what they got. Let me see what they got. I think it was Dre. He said had the Gucci hat. No wait, 86 and 87 was the year. Had the Gucci hat rocked the raccoon Fergo gear. Keep them in
Fire.
the sky and niggas don't be a blink. See you Saturday. We robbed another nigga at the rink. The beast was always showing up at my rest, asking does a certain dress live in this address. Yes, like fucking The
Oh yeah,
rhyming on that shit, just the flow and the lyricism. I felt like Drez just definitely steps his game up with this shit. I think they
definitely,
all did, but especially no on Drez and shit.
definitely. I definitely agree on that. I think, like I said, like I think like this was like I want to say like their most lyrical album, and it kind of like got away from the diggity diggity flow, but they still incorporated it sometimes with their rhymes. But definitely, Crazy Drazy killed it. Um, track 12, did you finish about on track 11?
Yeah.
Track 12, we on All Right, produced by Moby again. Rhymey track, dope beat, bass line, dope. Um, School, I like his lines where he says, "You shouldn't be stressing this lesson. I'm flexing with the adjectives, shitting on MCs like I just took a laxative." And then and Crazy, I like his lines where he says, "I keep them open like sesame. You're just a pest to me. You'll never get the best of me." Fire, dope Moby track. I think Moby definitely had held this album down. Like I don't think he has one rap track on here. Definitely another banger from him.
I got you on that. Yeah, Moby was very consistent around this time too and shit like that. Around this time, nigga was finishing off Ready to Die.
Right.
He just finished Me Against the World too and shit.
Craig Mack, his
I,
first album.
yep.
Yep.
Ill Out Scratches Creep. No, that was his little brother, but I think he did some work on that shit too.
Yeah.
But yeah, he definitely had the East Coast on lock around that shit.
Hmm.
Like
He did
next Primo, Moby.
right.
You know what I'm saying?
He did also the Panther soundtrack. He did some
Oh,
joints on there. But that came out in '95 also.
don't get me started on that shit, yo. Don't
There's
even get
10
me started.
points with Biggie, Redman, Bone Thugs, Ill and
All
Out
the
scratches
niggas.
on there.
Yes.
Fire.
I can't even pick who had the single best verse because there's certain niggas that just went beast mode. They were just in the rare form in that fucking song.
Yeah, I agree.
Fucking Coolio, man. Woo!
Coolio. I forgot
Jesus
Coolio was on there.
Christ.
Coolio on a Moby track. That's crazy.
I low key might do a video on that track alone.
Oh wow.
I might just do a video on that track alone because that's how much I fucking love like that. That's a Postica I feel like never gets its shine.
I agree. Definitely. Definitely. And even on the woman's side, they had like a woman's version of like
Oh,
Left Eye and Yo Yo and
yo,
MC Light.
scratch that. I might make two videos of that shit because man, like yo, try don't do this to me tonight, try. Don't do this to me tonight.
I was just thinking about all the joints he was doing like around that time, like 94, 95, and he was like the go-to producer to get your hits from, Craig,
For real.
Pac, you know. Yeah, man. What
Right.
track we on? 13?
We just
Yeah,
talked about King of Nothing. So
yeah.
yeah,
We on the title track. Title track, Moby again, the man of the hour, banging track, real grimy sound, bass line hitting. Um, the School Blinds where he says critics that wasn't what do you say? Critics that wasn't with it pop blip like iggity that and iggity this, but fuck iggity that. Get off my iggity dick. Fire, fire. He definitely killed it. Love those lines by School. Dre's Crazy Drazy killed it as well. Dope title track. I like it.
yeah, man. Yeah, I got to be real. Like the last couple of tracks,
Mhm.
it was still good, but I kind of like lost. This one I kind of felt like okay, the album kind of went on for a bit too long though.
Right,
So I felt like Hold It Down was pretty solid too. Another dope Easy Mo BB and shit like that.
right.
I'll definitely piggyback on everything that you said. I definitely agree with everything you said and shit. So yeah.
Oh yeah. That was dope. Dope. Like I said, like I think Moby could do no wrong, man, on this album, man. Like he did like the bulk of the production on here. You know, track 14 we get the Dedicated. Dedicated was one of the first tracks I heard off of this album, like months before it came out. And the sample that they used, I remember the Youngsters, another underrated group. Need to
Yep.
discuss them at some point. The Youngsters, the No Mercy album. they used the same sample. That was for the forgot was I think it was for the nah, it wasn't reality. There's a song that they have on the No Mercy album that they flipped the same sample on. K Def and Molly Mall had used that for that album. But this joint produced by Clark Kent, legendary producer, for Junior Mafia and stuff he did for other people as well. Jay-Z, Reasonable Doubt, great producer, great track. The piano sample I like. It's like a real upbeat joint. Pretty crazy Drazzy lines where he says, "We on the road again, just like Willie Nelson. So what the hell, son? Oh, oh boy, annoy ya. When I spill the beans like Goya, I saw you. Try to Vic my style, get the balls. I guess you must be ready to die like Biggie Smalls. Fire shit. That part right there in his lyrics where he's talking about try to Vic my style. I think they took a little shot at Lords of the Underground. I could be wrong, but I don't know exactly when the beef between them like actually ended because like we didn't have the internet back then. But I think that was like a little shot at Lords, like yo, like we see what y'all doing. Fuck y'all, we doing our own thing. Y'all bit our style or whatever. But
Right.
definitely love that. Like the chorus, to all the niggas running game, to all the chicks that do the same. Fire joint. Definitely one of my favorite tracks on this album. Yeah.
Yeah, very dope song and shit like that. DJ Clark Kent, man, definitely a very underrated producer when it comes to hip hop. A
Yeah.
lot of people only know him for like his work on Jay Z's Reasonable Doubt, like rightfully so, but niggas done like a lot of dope shit over the years for a lot of people and shit, hip hop and R&B.
Oh yeah.
Um, yeah, dedicated, definitely a very strong track and shit like that. Love this shit.
And he's a sneakerhead. Like you got like thousands of sneakers and shit. So
Right.
I love sneakers as well. So shout out to Clark Kent, Brooklyn Zone. Um, Track 15 we get to Ready to Rock Rough Rhymes, produced by Solid Scheme. Banging beat, bass line is fire. I want to say they used a xylophone. I don't know like what that weird sound is that they're using, but I want to say it's a xylophone, but it's dope. The lines that they also got featured some dudes. I don't know the dudes that start the track off, but they were from Brooklyn as well. They did they thing on the track. I like the crazy lines where he says we kick that ass back and forth like a Leah, see ya, and too bad I wouldn't want to be ya. Fire. That was a dope joint. That also it sounded like they were freestyling that joint too. But um definitely I love that beat though. But I don't know the exact instrument that was being like that made that like melody.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about, like the melody in the background. But that was a dope track. Definitely love that beat.
Yeah. I want to say that's a xylophone to be real with
Okay.
you, but at the same time, I don't want to be wrong. But
Right.
yeah, Ready to Rock Rough Rhymes, definitely another strong track when it comes to this fucking album. There's a cool line that I want to read out where I think it was what's his name? DL says some shit like, "I got the mic in my grip and the heat on my hip, just in case niggas want to flip. I see my niggas in sight, everything alright, coming out of fucking Crown Heights and shit." I
All
like,
right. That's the home.
right,
Fire beat. Boom, boom,
very
boom. Ding, 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 ding. Love that beat. That shit is fire, son. I love that shit. Yeah, man, I love that. Definitely a solid cut on here. Um, Track 16, Represent the Real, produced by Showbiz from DITC, legendary producer, Showbiz, DITC family, shout out to them. KRS One is on here as well. He starts off the track and he's saying, only a few will understand and appreciate what's about to happen. Dope boom bap track. I like the DJ scratches, the bass line. It sounds more like KRS One produced it because of like I don't know, it just has like that KRS One, you know, that the self-titled joint that he came out with in the same year, '95. It has more like a KRS One sound, but Showbiz did his thing on here.
yeah, because that's why this song was on that album too.
Right.
Yeah,
And oh yeah, that's right, true. And the lines by School where he says, "This is for my niggas on the block, handling rock like Kenny Anderson. I'm brandishing stiggity styles that keep MCs vanishing." And then Keras One killed it. He says, I like the part in this rhyme where he says, "I got mad MCs heads on the mantle. I got genuine MC skin sandals." Then he starts singing. He starts going la 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 la. I'm coming with the rah. I'm like, what the fuck? He just start going off and start singing, and I'm like, yo, it's crazy, man. Like, but Keras, that's his style. Like he, the same way he killed Madism with Channel Live, same way he killed this track. It was dope to hear like the Blast Master with DasEfx. I think it's a dope song. I wish they did a video for it as well. That was definitely one of my favorite tracks on there as well. So yeah,
Yeah, man. Again, a very dope track. One of my favorite tracks on this album, and as KRS One's self-titled joint, which
yeah,
I recently did a review on as well. In case y'all want to go check it out.
that's it.
Um, very very dope song. I feel like most definitely
KRS One definitely did his fucking thing on this shit right here, man. Like, I like the line where he said some shit like, with the syllable, lyrical criminal, MC's threats are minimal to my physical. They just whittle and whittle away with little and little to say. As they piddle and paddle away, they say okay. Like, I loved
Wow,
how fucking animated that his fucking flow was on that fucking song, but at the same time it was hard as hell and shit too.
oh yeah,
Like
he killed it, man. Like, love it,
Karis 195 alone, man. That should just tell you guys something and shit.
definitely, definitely. Track 17 we got Coming Through, produced by DJ Scratch of EPMD Hit Squad.
yes,
Dope beat, hard track, the horns, I love it. Crazy. He says, to be a rapper nowadays is real handy. That's why all these niggas want to be down like Brandy. Without rehearsal, my style is universal, and I've been drinking St. Ives before them commercials. Dope. Scoop says, twisted in the head, I'm seeing red like October, and I don't have pity. More raps than Rap City. Got styles out the ass, so call my rap shitty. Fire,
For
fire
real.
joint by Scoop right there, man. I love it. Dope cut. Solid, man. That's all I can say about that.
Yeah, I definitely fucking agree with you on that shit. Coming through, definitely another highlight on this fucking album and shit. Not one of my favorites, but not a bad track overall.
Right.
Um, DJ Scratch alone, man, a very underrated.
Oh yeah.
producer and shit like that. Definitely
Definitely.
was a huge mark when it came to EPMD's Business as Usual and Business Never Personal album.
Oh yeah.
Both classics, in my opinion. I definitely love the line when Dre said, I rent in a raven, still misbehaving. I see I be causing trouble ever since I started shaving. This ain't correct Mac, but black you know the flav. I briggity break that ass up just like Super Dave. Like, rest in peace to Super Dave, and rest in peace to
Yeah.
Craig Mac, by the way, and
Oh yeah.
shit.
Legend.
Right.
Definitely, man. And DJ Scratch, underrated producer. I think him and Dilla and Knots, those and Megahertz as well. I think those producers were instrumental in crafting Busta Rhymes sound when he was solo.
Ooh.
Like for especially for like When Disaster Strikes and ELE and Anarchy.
Right.
Swiss Beats as well, because Swiss gave Busta some fire on those albums, but definitely Scratch. He was like the one of the main ones. Him and Dilla to make Busta Rhymes a mega star solo wise, and he's definitely slept on as a producer. So great, that's a legend, a legendary DJ as well. If you ever seen him DJ, he did shit with like the Jason mask and all that, and while he's spinning, and never seen no shit like that. That's like some dope shit.
Oh yeah,
And
for real.
DJing, to me, that's like a lost art in this day and age, and that needs to be. We need to really bring that back and back into the culture, just like breakdance. So shout
For
out to
real.
him. That's a legend. Um, Track 19, Bad News, featuring PMD, done by the Hit Squad. Hard grunge track. The drums is dope. The bass line. It sounds like it has like it's reminiscent of like something that EPMD would have did for like Business Never Personal or Business as Usual. Um, it
For
just has
real.
that gritty headbanger type of sound to it. You know what I mean? I would have loved to hear like Redman or K Solo on this track as well. But you know, PMD gave a nice verse as well. Crazy. I like his lines where he says, the hit squad, the shit's hard every year. It's Diggity DasEfx and PMD to make it clear. Buy your joint. Think it was like a dope way to like end the album off on like a gritty note. I feel like the whole album it has that gritty sound to it. That's that hardcore, you know, street sound to it. So definitely enjoyed this collab.
Yeah, very dope collab and shit like that. PMD he's someone I feel does not get the credit he deserves and shit.
Yeah, I agree.
Even though his first album, Shake Business, I was not really too fond of, cause I just feel like it was a bit too West Coast influence. I like the second album, Business is
Yeah.
Business.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Classic.
that should go hard and shit.
Definitely.
Definitely a dope ass fucking song right here altogether.
Yeah. Yeah. That was dope. And you know, PMD collaborated with Das on his album Business is Business, and he did the same on this album. I you know always, and he's also on the back of the back album cover as well. He's also on here.
Right.
You know what I mean? Over here, so definitely a legend. Shout out to him. I actually I used to talk to his niece back in a couple of years ago. You know, shout out to her. So yeah, I was Bad News. We get to the last track, which is a remix of Real Hip Hop, the Pete Rock remix. I think it's dope.
Ooh,
Definitely, I want to say like top 10 Pete Rock remixes of all time.
yes.
Um, it has like more of a like a darker melodic tone to it. Bass line is fire. The horns, the beat, definitely. I love. To me, I love the Pete Rock remix for Just Some Men from the Dead Serious album. I think that's always been like my favorite like That's Effects remix from Pete Rock. But this Pete Rock remix is great. I remember the very last show of Real TV Raps, they signed off with this. They did a freestyle cipher with MC Search from Third Base and Method
Yep.
Man, Redman, Rakim. I think Flavor Flav was in that cipher, and they were freestyling over this track, and they killed
Yep.
it. It's like a legendary MTV show. Definitely need that back for today's culture, and a great remix, man. Definitely glad that they added it to the album, and you didn't have to go out and get the single. So it was the bonus track. I love it.
Yeah, man. Like I actually prefer the remix over the original, in my personal opinion.
Right,
Yeah, I just fucking that beat alone by Pete Rock is just so fucking ill as fuck.
definitely.
Like, diddle it, like it's just so fucking. I just love the way I feel like DasEfx was just more alive on that remix, in my personal
Right,
opinion
right.
and shit. But yeah, man, very dope remix and shit. Hands down, a very nice Pete Rock remix. I put this up there with like a Shut 'Em Down remix and
Oh
stuff like
yeah,
that.
definitely. All the we might have to make like a whole episode of like the best P Rock remixes ever because he has like so many that I love. I love this joint and the remix for Just Some Men, the remix for Letterman from K Solo. He got so many. It's like but that P Rock is my favorite producer of all time, so he can do no wrong, man. Like whether it's for Das Effects or Biggie, whoever, I love it.
Yeah, man, fucking Soul Brother #1.
Oh yeah, definitely, man. You know, um, yeah, that's the whole album. From my thoughts on the album, I think it's one of their best. I think I'm always torn between this album and Dead Series because Dead Series it takes me back to like high school and freshman year, and niggas was like they was like sneaking the Dead Series album in their knapsack, and they had like the Sony Discman and shit, and playing it in between like classes and shit, back of the class and shit. So I always have like fond memories of the first album, but this album, I think this was like an upgrade from the second one. The second one was dope, but I feel like there wasn't like big hits off of that album. It was something missing from the second album
Mm,
that on this album it was like probably I want to say like their most hardcore street album. With the different with the the different producers using like Easy Mo B for the bulk of the production, and having Showbiz on there, and Primo and Pete Rock with the remix, and Mo and Solid Scheme. I think it was like a great blend of producers, still keeping that gritty sound for Das, and Das displaying their true lyrical ability without, going without using like their bread and butter, the diggity style a lot on this album. And so many bangers dedicated and knocking niggas off, and real hip hop, and Microphone Master. I love the album. The collaborations with Keras One and PMD, that was great. I really feel like this album is a classic. I really do. I feel like it's a slept on classic. I mean, like, when people talk about Das, they everybody knows they want effects and Mike Checker, but I feel like this album really it really solidified them to me in hip hop history, and as one of the best groups of all time that you don't really hear about. You hear about, when it comes to groups, you hear about Mobb Deep, or you hear about Run DMC or Wu-Tang Clan, but they don't really mention DOS like that. And I feel like this album is a testament to that. Like, it's it's perfect to me. I don't think they have any bad tracks on it. Like, like every song on here is banging. People got their different favorites on the album, but I definitely feel like it's a classic album, a slept on classic album, and I definitely would give it 5 mics. And yeah, I think between this and Dead Series, this is like their best one. And I like the albums like True, and like like back then we had like the Lexuses and the Infinities, and that we had like the Pathfinders, and niggas had like, you have to have like a dope sound system. You know what I mean? For in any of those cars, and that's what it was. It was like you had like to have the dope rims and the dope sound system, and bumping like these type of albums. I love it, man. It's great.
Yeah, man, very well said on that shit. Very well said. Um, yeah, this is my probably my personal favorite DasEfx album and shit like that. I've
Right,
always felt like this album was just so very well rounded. Like, they got like a lot more different producers from Easy Mo B to DJ Clark Kent and shit like
right.
that. From a lyrical standpoint, I definitely felt like it was also the most lyrical album too.
Yeah,
Like Dresden School definitely did their thing. They definitely lyrical transitioned themselves from the Iggy style to like a more traditional kind of rapping and flowing, which I think caught like a lot of people off guard and shit like that too.
right.
So, with that being said, I would say like this album and is my favorite. Then I would say Straight from Suicide is my second favorite. Then the Dead
Yo,
Series, first favorite and shit like that.
yo.
Yeah, but
And
then
there's also go ahead, go ahead.
yeah, and shit like that. And it's unfortunate because I always felt like this was probably like the last great DasEfx album in my opinion.
I agree.
Yeah, because Generation Effects has some okay tracks, but you can tell they're trying to go for that
Right.
98 radio airplay kind of vibe and shit. So
Mhm. I remember one song from Generation Effects. That was Rap Scholar. Everything else, you can't even ask me. I don't remember that album at all.
shoot. Yeah, man. Yeah, I haven't even heard the last one either. So
Right. I haven't heard that one either. But definitely, I agree with you. It's also a reissue. The reissue is like a bonus. There's a bonus disc with like freestyles, and they have like two or three like unreleased joints. There's a joint with Chuck Rock called Beef that's on
yeah,
there.
I heard that song. Yeah.
Oh, you heard it? I haven't heard it. I didn't even know there was a reissue of it. I saw that on Wikipedia. But and the album cover is like illustrated. It's like an illustration. I don't know who did the drawing, but it's like the whole album cover is like an illustration, so it don't look like this.
Loki, okay, I gotta be real with you.
Um,
I don't like when motherfuckers be reissuing or remastering their fucking album. They have a fucking drawing or some shit like
right?
that.
Yeah,
That shit. I didn't like when MF Doom did it. I don't like the fucking Uncle Sam drawing and the death certificate remaster. Like, just leave the fucking album
right.
cover the way it is and shit. Damn.
I agree. I don't like that. That I like a little those reissues. I don't care to have those because I feel like it takes away from the nostalgia of when that album dropped. So it's like I don't care for like I wouldn't get like a reissue of this album or like Death Certificate. I like the OG cover and all that.
For real. Cause
You
like
know,
it's kind of funny how we can't even have a motherfucking picture of fucking Ice Cube with fucking Uncle Sam in the
right?
fucking like in a fucking morgue or some shit, but in living in a fucking Trump world, what do you expect?
Exactly, exactly. You know, but yeah, I seen somebody on Instagram that had posted it, so I'm like, oh, they got the physical copy of that, but I don't care for no reissue. I like the OG.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man.
You know,
And surprisingly, all the albums are not like expensive either, too. So,
right? Yeah, yeah. They albums are available. I know. I think the second album is out of print, but that series is available, and Hold It Down should be available still, right?
if I'm not mistaken, I feel like it's out of print, but it's not like hard to come
Oh,
by.
right. You know,
Well,
I
actually,
definitely got to get. I got to get the second one again. I had the second one on cassette, but I don't have it on CDs. I definitely got to get the.
oh yeah, I gotta. I'll be okay with just their first three albums and shit. The other
Yeah,
two
yeah,
would just
same
be
here.
a chore to get,
Same
in
here.
my opinion.
Yeah. Anything after the Hold It Down, I don't care for Generation FX, and I don't even know the other album after that.
It was. I forgot the name of the 2003 one, but
I don't even know that one.
yeah,
You know, word man. DasEfx. Hold It Down. Shout out to DasEfx, Brooklyn, Brownsville, Crown Heights, the whole borough, PMD, Hit Squad, EPMD, everybody.
right. Shout out, man. Like a whole fucking EPMD family alone.
Oh yeah, definitely. K Solo, Redman, all of them. Knuckleheads,
Right. Illegal.
Illegal. Oh yeah, I forgot about them too. Slept on artists, man.
For real.
You know.
Yeah, but yeah, and I'm a definitely calling. I gotta get ready for work in the morning and
All
shit.
right. This was fun. Definitely we'll be back next week with something else. We're gonna do another dope joint every Thursday. Like I said, I'll be doing some dope joints on here. You know, I just feel like Thursday's the right day to do shit. So that's what it is. That's the schedule from now on. Shout out to everybody that's supported this shit, liking the channel and liking the content I bring on here. All the haters, suck my dick. That's how it is. Danny Rap, Triborough, hardest working man on YouTube, Reg. See you all next week.
All right, peace, y'all. Make sure y'all subscribe.
Peace.
Peace.